All right, everyone, welcome back. Dr. Keith Watson is joining me in studio this morning. Dr. Watson, it's a little chilly outside.
It's a little cool.
It's a little cool.
It's a little cool.
So, I feel like we talk about a range of topics on here all the time, of course, and I wanted to specifically today speak about malnutrition. So,
okay.
I feel like it's a word we hear, but can you actually explain what malnutrition is?
Wow, this could get long.
Okay.
So there are different types of malnutrition.
Okay.
The most common that everybody thinks of, meaning undernutrition, is not having enough to eat, going hungry. So that is a form of malnutrition.
Okay.
But malnutrition can be not getting enough of something specific.
Okay.
So you can have plenty of food and be overweight, but could be deficient in some vitamin or mineral based upon the diet that you eat.
Okay.
So you can have too much fat, protein, and carbohydrates, and not enough vitamins.
Yes.
Or you can have plenty of vitamins and minerals, but not enough fat, protein, and carbohydrates. So malnutrition can be lots of things under one umbrella.
Yes.
But it is, in its simplest form, it's a deficiency of adequate nutrients.
And when we kind of think of the first term that you gave us about malnutrition, I feel like when we hear that word, we think of this happening in other countries and stuff. But do you see just not getting enough food and just nourishment here locally?
I don't see a lot here locally.
Okay.
That's
good though.
Obviously, there are issues with it in this country and in certain areas of the country and in certain living situations. The United States, for the most part, especially with infants and children, there's the WIC program where formula is provided to parents. And because we do have access to health care,
Yes.
typically we have, I won't say we don't have any problems with children being hungry in this country, but compared to the vast majority of the world, we are dramatically better off.
Yes, and through those programs, we do have these resources
Correct.
available. Okay, so I want to talk about if a child is malnourished, what are the typical signs? Is it maybe sunken in face or something, or tiny?
Would absolutely depend upon the
situation.
Type, type, right. Obviously, if it is lack of food, then you're going to have lack of normal growth. They're going to be underweight, those types of things. But if it's a specific vitamin or mineral, then there are very specific symptoms and signs that you would look for that particular vitamin or mineral. And then obviously if it's fat or protein malnutrition, you're going to have specific signs or symptoms. So there are lots of signs and symptoms of malnutrition, but it depends entirely on the type that you are suffering from.
All right, guys, well, stick with us. We'll wrap up this when we come back. All right, guys, welcome back. So me and Dr. Watson have been talking about malnutrition, and before we went to break, Dr. Watson kind of explained this is a huge umbrella of a topic, but you can kind of break it down into two categories. But Dr. Watson, I wanted to talk about, when we speak of vitamins for malnutrition, are there any in particular that you recommend, and are there any that certain age groups, like from a baby to a toddler to just your 6-year-olds would need?
Nutrition changes as you get older.
Okay.
An elderly person, has different needs than, a 21-year-old college athlete. So, a premature baby that comes way too early may need to be on supplements that a term baby obviously doesn't need. So there's always differences in the nutritional needs as you grow. For the average healthy child, typically what we call a daily multivitamin. So that's one of those generic, when I was a kid, and people my age, when I say this will know it, the Flintstone chewable vitamins that tasted like chalk. But they have most of your daily requirements of vitamins all in one. That's why it's called a multivitamin.
Gotcha.
And so they make them now multivitamins for young children, multivitamins for teenagers. They even have multivitamins for young men and young women based upon the differences in our
Gotcha.
genders. So questions like that would be great to have with your doctor. When you come in for your checkup, you think you feel like you might need a vitamin, talk to your doctor about maybe for your, in my office with the kids for their age and what they're doing, different types of vitamins.
Yes.
Could be recommended.
And then talking about those recommendations, obviously you speaking with your doctor, if you are deficient in maybe certain protein or something, then they could specifically prescribe you what you should take, correct?
Yeah, and that's why at your doctor's office they always go over your height and your weight,
Okay.
and especially with pediatricians.
We're not just having to write it down.
No,
Okay.
and that's why what you bring your kids, especially as infants, every few months. Yes, they're getting their vaccines, and we're making sure they're developing, but we're making sure that their nutrition is right, they're growing properly, they're meeting these milestones, because malnutrition doesn't just manifest itself as being underweight.
Okay.
It can manifest itself in developmental delays.
Okay.
If you are deficient in the right vitamin, it affects brain development and cognitive ability and learning and those types of things. And certain vitamin deficiencies lead to anemia.
Okay, I
Those
kind of
types
wondered
of
that.
things. So that's why you come with your children for these checkups, and we pediatricians look at the babies and checks their heights and their weights and do all of these things, is because it may point us in direction if something's missing.
And like you said, effects, it sounds like they can be long term if they're not treated, or, you're getting ahead. If someone is not treating this, and let's say it's been so many years, could we say that the symptoms then could be irreversible at that point?
Absolutely.
Or harder to reverse?
Some things can be reversed, some things cannot.
Yes.
So certain deficiencies, once they're discovered, absolutely can be reversed and fixed over time, but some you can't.
Yeah, it just depends on that situation. All right, guys. Well, again, if you ever have any questions, you can always go see Dr. Watson in West Point. He's there to answer your questions, obviously answer your questions here on Sunrise. Dr. Watson, it's been a pleasure, but stay warm this afternoon.
I'm going to try.
All right, we'll be right back, guys.